Hello and welcome back to HCS Weekly.
I thought, yo, this is my life. I have to go pro in Halo.
In my head, thought that was more efficient, and I guess I was right.
He was like the god. We would have to 2v1 like just to beat this guy. Like
I don't know, man. I'll try to reach you. You're like, oh, let's see you guys later.
A lot of Halo in my life, man. It's been a fun journey.
I love it. Nothing like a little Halo Mythbusters action to kick off the stream today. Of course, that brings me way back. Mythbusters is just they've started again. They've got their volume 1 again. We've got Halo videos back. Halo in general is back, baby. It feels good. It feels good to be back with HCS Weekly as well. You guys know every single week we're here with news, with interviews, and I'm your host, of course, ShyWay. We've got Halo Reach to talk about today. We've got a brand new game. We've got PC players playing it. We got Tyler One, Dr. Disrespect, all these massive individuals jumping on and enjoying the game, and it feels like we're way back in 2010. Feels like Halo is finally back, finally something to enjoy. Of course, our show format, we've got our news to break down. We also have our guests coming on for the interview. We've got Proximitty and Muggsy joining us today to talk about the new game and their thoughts on the game so far. And of course, if you're in the chat and you want to join the discussion, you have any questions, make sure to drop those in the chat. We will have somebody from UGC jumping in there and grabbing those questions and bringing them up into the interview so we can talk about those later in the interview as well. But let's get to the news. Now, typically, MattyRums would join me on the news, but unfortunately, Matty is busy with work. I am going to have to quickly read my way through the news feed today just to give you guys an update on what's going on. I'll get started with topic 1 here. We have Halo 5 news. Winter 2020 arena season has started today. So the 2020 winter I thought it started last week, but apparently I'm being told it starts today. We got Mythic Arena playlist, rank playlist as well, which is pretty awesome. By the way, I know all the hype is around Halo Reach right now, but Halo 5 has this cool hybrid playlist. It's a H2BR starts with 2 frag grenades. You got only thrust and stabilized Spartan abilities, so there's no more sprint. And it's kind of like a mix of the classic and the modern style. You got increased base movement speed, strafe acceleration, and jump height, and then you have a 3-hit melee kill and 6 new forge maps to play on as well. So something cool if you want to jump, back and forth between Halo titles. We have Tashi teasing a PC tournament. Of course, Halo Reach launching on PC is, big for the PC community, but also this tease for tournaments is exciting as well. You can see right here on screen, a heads up, Halo competitors. We've always said that when Halo is out on PC, we'll be looking for ways to experiment and test out the platform for the first time in Halo esports continued. You can see that second tweet right there. They can't share specifics yet, but they're looking into an HCS grassroots event on PC, which would be very exciting to see. And of course, encourages a lot of new people to join in and play. We got some mouse and keyboard versus controller wars happening, I'm sure. We also have a new Halo support site. So, of course, with a new game, maybe some new issues will arise. You guys can send your feedback to this new Halo support site. It's a customer support site for players. You can submit support tickets for tech issues and bugs and read about known issues and see what's being investigated. It's Twitter, at Halo Support on Twitter is the first place to go check that out. Make sure to check out at Halo Support on Twitter to share your issues and anything you need in support. We have tournament results as well. Mixer matchup took place recently. The first place award was to Gagod, Mantra, DeRay, Ruffles, and Tangy Sauce. I'm not going to try to read all these, but you can see on screen here, first, second, third, and fourth. Of course, Ninja was involved in this Mixer matchup tourney, so nice to see Ninja's presence in Halo once again. In the meantime, we also had the Arena Esports Halo Reach Kickoff 2v2 that happened at the same time. First place went to Furium Sevens and Immaculate AZ. You can see all the scores there. It looks like they've got some prize money involved too, which is nice to see. We have upcoming tournaments as well. This upcoming, or Wednesday, actually just tomorrow, December 11th, we have Game Sharks Halo Reach 2v2 on Xbox, and we have a Game Sharks Halo Reach 2v2 on PC as well. So you can get involved in some early Halo Reach tournaments, build up those skills for the eventual PC tournament we might be having soon. We've got Friday, December 13th, we have Apex Gaming League Halo Reach 2v2 on PC as well. And then we have Sunday, December 15th, the Microsoft Store London Halo 5 2v2 and the SWAT Nation $1,000 SWAT miss. I believe Matty might have made a mistake here, but I believe we have $1,000 2v2 SWAT tournament coming up for SWAT Nation Sunday as well. So really exciting to see SWAT Nation still running these events. That's everything we got for news. Let's talk about Halo Reach. I'm excited to bring on Proximitty and Muggsy onto the show. How's it going, boys?
Going on, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Nice to have you guys here. I was thinking back to last time I got to hang out with you guys, and it was DreamHack Atlanta. Muggsy, I remember I tried to talk to you just to to see what was up, and you were so busy. You're so invested in social media that I couldn't even talk to you. You had to literally like shut me down. Tell me, man, about your social media there. That looks so intense. You were like nonstop, just going at it the entire day.
Yeah. Was that in the back or was I out in the front?
In the back when I asked you in the back when you were
Okay,
busy
yeah, I do remember that now because that
You're
same
like, I
thing
could not
did
talk.
happen out in like in the crowd. But yeah, no, that weekend I was busy for different reasons than I normally am, and that's because we hired on 2 guys to help us do content, which was Riley Hastings and Dynashon, and they're
Right.
both like incredible content creators in our space, and I was super stoked to have them there helping us with content. And so like I didn't have to worry so much about creating the content that they were helping us with. Otherwise, other events, they're not there helping me. So this event, I was kind of making sure that they had everything they needed to be successful while still, running social media, doing my own photos, taking photos for social media and things like that. So, I was pretty much all over the place. Sorry for shutting you down, by the way.
No, you're good, man. I mean, it sounds intense. And I was following social media as well. You had constant updates. You have to grab the clips. You have to, I
Right.
guess you're managing 2 people at the same time. It was wild. And I mean, hosting it as well, I had barely any downtime also. I got to go up
Yeah.
and then I'm constantly thinking about the games. So I feel your pain there, but it was a great event. It was fun to be there. Cole, it was nice to see you as well. How was it for you? I know we didn't really get to hang out much, and I was hoping I'd get to. You're competing in Halo 5.
Yeah, no, I actually broke both my thumbs on the day of the tournament. Didn't get to play. So
Well,
no,
how does that happen?
no, it was a fine tournament. I just played really, really poorly.
That's
That's what I've been telling people when they ask me about it. Like, oh, how'd it go? Like, oh, dude, I couldn't play. Like, something happened. Like, something came out. It flooded. All of DreamHack flooded. They had to cancel it. Dude. Didn't even get to play.
Right.
No, I actually don't even really. I think I placed like pretty middle of the bracket. Just pretty
Yeah.
disappointing. I felt like I played really poorly. But the event was great. DreamHacks are awesome. There was always a lot going on, and I'm from Georgia, so being in Atlanta, I like being there. So it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunate. I think at the same time, though, it's also just kind of the way the tournaments run as well, where like only the grand finals gets broadcasted. So people don't get to see your journey, and the matches that you have where you did really well and, have that streamed as well. But hopefully, I'm not sure what they're going to do in the future, but maybe we'll get a little bit more Halo 5 at some point too. But I know you're busy with Halo Reach, guys. Halo Reach is back. This is the big thing everybody's focused on right now. I got a quick video from the Score Esports. This like Halo's back video. We're going to watch it together and then we'll come right back.
Hey, Eric, I'm aimbot.
Okay, just turn it on.
I got this, don't worry.
Few inches later.
Wait, I'm effing.
More time.
Rockets up, going for it.
Dude, no one's watching the Rams, dude. Good
Hey,
job.
there's fall damage.
You're literally supposed to camp.
Not if you're alpha.
Goddamn right, let's fucking go. Oh! Oh my God! There's chat.
Flag taken.
There's chat! Your dog shit!
Meanwhile.
So awesome, of course. I got to know what you guys think of the game so far. You got all these big streamers, Tyler One, Dr. Disrespect, all these guys playing the game. It's got to feel good, right?
What, you want to take that first?
Go for it. Either
No,
you guys,
yeah. I mean, I think it's awesome being able to see all these, different streamers, personalities, and just all different kind of people playing our game now. And seeing the different kinds of ways they're playing the game too.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's great to see.
Yeah, I'm sure you're playing it yourself. What do you think so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying myself, definitely. I actually just purchased a 144 hertz monitor. I'm kind of behind on that, but I've been, doing what I can on my 60 hertz monitor. They're pretty old. I haven't upgraded. It's been a while, but tonight I'm installing the 144 hertz, and I'm excited to feel that, just the upgrade. I played League of Legends on 144 hertz some years ago, and it was like an entirely different game. So, I'm excited.
Once you go there, it's hard to go back, though,
That's
to be
what I've
honest, because I've been playing 144 and now I can feel 60 and 60 feels slow. And it's Yeah, you get like this new privilege or whatever. It's kind of annoying going back, but it's sick at 144. Cole, have you been watching any of these guys, like Summit at all in any of their streams?
Yeah, I mean, my opinions about all these guys playing and streaming Halo, it's weird. It's really weird seeing it. It's so strange seeing these like Doc and like, and they're having fun. It's really weird. I've been consistently making content since 2014, and that whole time this has not been a thing. Like Halo has not been what people are interested in, but right now it is, and it's great. I'm loving it. I like all the content. I love that Halo, and I go to the directory. I don't have to go searching for it. It's towards the top. There's a lot of people on it and just enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the hype right now.
Yeah, hell yeah. Are you playing at 144 as well, or are you sticking with 60 so far? Like, you're on your PC for this?
I am, and I actually have an old like 2013 monitor, which I have to assume is 60, and then I have a 144. And for whatever reason, it default opens on my 60. Like I can't get it to open on the other monitor. I don't know how to get it to. So that's something I need to look at. I was just hearing Lalo talk about that. Like maybe that's something I really need to figure out, because I've been kind of just dealing with 60, not really worrying about it, because I've been on console the last few years. But if it's that much nicer, I already have the monitor, so I should get it sorted and do it.
It's nicer, but the difficulty I'm having is streaming at 144. I don't know if I want to change the whole discussion to this, but Lalo, are you able to stream at 144? Like, okay, you're shooting at 60, but do you still play it at 144 as well?
Well, I need to install my monitor first, so I have not even there yet. But I did see someone on Twitter talking about, it was someone pretty high profile. They said that it was there was an issue with having, if both of your monitors aren't 144 hertz and you try to stream, there's an issue there. I didn't read the whole thread, but
that would be me then.
I'm
so maybe I shouldn't do it.
Too, so.
It's that, and then it's cap card specific too, because I'm on an Elgato HD60 Pro, which is capped at 60 FPS. So I have to do this like cloning displays thing, and every time I clone, my 144 gets capped out at 60, and I'm just it's grief. The process is frustrating because I was so used to 144, and I'm like jumping back and forth. But anyway, I will. I'll save that for another time. I've been watching you guys on Twitter. Of course, you guys have been posting some great clips and having fun with the game. I'm going to start with Muggsy. I've got a couple of things from you. Starting strats, actually, to kick it off. We'll play this clip first and come right back.
Y'all let me get sniped. I promise to snipe their sniper. What I say, baby?
Double kill.
So that's literally the strat right there. You just pick up the jetpack, you go in for the headshot.
That's what I've been doing. Anytime they leave it open, that's what I'm going to try to do.
You ever
so
get
if you see me
blamed
on
for
the
that?
other team, that's actually not what I'm going to try to do. Ignore what I just said.
Because if somebody calls you out, that's just a free target, right? Like you have to be.
I mean, you still have to hit your shot, but are you expected to see someone flying that high? Probably not at level 20.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's not an easy shot to hit. Like to be fair, like that's not a guaranteed shot at all.
Right,
it's a pretty difficult shot.
Right. On top of the fact, like his reticle's not ready for it too. He has to flick on and then hit the shot. The guy reacts, and then he missed that jump later too.
You did.
Yeah, it was the little jetpack threw me off. It gave me a little extra height.
Oh yeah.
I missed the rock.
Yeah, not to call you out at the very end where it's like, yeah, this right here, you get the kill, and then it's like, no.
Every time I try that strat, I jetpack too high and die instantly. It happens to me every time.
Yeah. Jetpack's been pretty interesting so far. I want to talk about the jetpack a little bit later as well when we talk about some of these maps. But Muggsy, I know you're also messing around with your sensitivity. You're a 10 cents warrior back on Halo 3, and now you're trying it out in Halo Reach, and you're starting to see some success. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm having some fun.
Bottom.
Holy shit! Oh my Blaines!
Bottom K, one shot. Got him.
Oh my god!
So that no scope was actually disgusting. I could barely see it connect on the guy. Tell me about this 10 cents journey you've been having here. Is it like this all the time, or is it like very difficult?
This year, I have been on 10 cents the entire year. This is the only year that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna force myself to stay on 10 no matter what I'm playing. Before in the past, like Halo 3, back when I was playing on 360, I always hovered around like 6 to 8 sensitivity primarily, and then I would sometimes go to 10 for like the weekend just to have fun in snipes or something. And so this year when MCC had its like revival and people were playing Halo 3 again, it's not that I wanted like a gimmick or a reason for people to watch my gameplay or my streams or anything, But I just figured that, if I could do what so many other people are already doing, but do it on the highest sense, then, that's, a little bit more reason for someone to tune in. And it kind of just stuck. And after playing like a month or so on 10 sensitivity, I tried to go back down. It just felt too slow. And I thought, well, might as well just, see what I can do and stay on 10. But no, I love it now. I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage, at least in Halo 3. In Reach, it's still a little bit hard to control the DMR.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that PR spread that you had in Halo 3. But I feel like in time I'll get there, especially on this new monitor.
And when anything under 10 cents is too slow, that just sounds wild to me. Just the fact that you get so used to it. Yeah. Damn, dude. The last thing I have for you is a teammate specific one. You also posted a clip of your teammates not really helping you out, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this issue here. This one's pretty funny though. Let's take a look.
Flag reset.
Please just touch the flag. Go straight for it. Just touch it. Please touch the flag.
Flag reset.
Are you kidding me?
They were literally standing right beside the flag. Two people right beside the flag, and neither of them grabbed it. How is that? Are you guys having any like issues with your teammates playing games these days? I know Cole, we were just talking about this right before the show.
I don't like to blame teammates too much because it's, but there's some experiences like this for me. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah,
new players on the game.
Oh, sorry. It kind of just comes with the population. There's so many new players playing. I go in, I'm not, if I have players like that on my team in the moment, especially after like literally just telling someone what to do and it not happening, it's maybe a little frustrating, but I don't let it like get to me like that. Like it's not that deep for me. Like I understand completely people are new and I'm just there to have a good time either way. So, but I can definitely understand how it is frustrating when you're trying to just rank up and, do the grind. I get it.
Yeah. Do you like the little chat box edition? Because I find that's usually where people can they vent their concerns through the chat box now. I don't hear it on the mic as much. I just see them swearing and freaking out in the chat box, and I read it on the corner.
I think the chat box edition is awesome for the fact that I can very easily just be like GG or say something really quick or LOL. Someone hit a nice snipe or something. I don't know. It's I've been using it for that. I haven't used it much more like communicate or anything, but I like it just for that, to see reactions to things in real time when you do something to someone or vice versa.
Yeah. I guess it's convenient.
I agree. There's a lot of times I feel like where you joke in the past about making like a big play and be like, oh, that guy's mad, but like sometimes they just tell you that they're mad or like they'll laugh along with you, like, that was ridiculous, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's different. I like it. It's kind of fun, but obviously there's some toxicity. But, we can't avoid that.
Yeah, we all love new ways to be toxic. Why not?
Yeah.
So Cole, I've been watching your Twitter as well. Recently, you posted some 1v1 moments here. Looks like you played a bit of 1v1s maybe back in the day, because there's some clear spawn knowledge here. Let's take a look.
I can't see you. God damn it. Die to another invisible shot. Yep.
This man knows what's going on.
It's worth fucking 3 kills already. That's what it's always worth. It's fucking 3 kills.
Killing spree.
I'm gonna count that as 4 because I was coming off spawn, because it is 5.
So poor Corpsic.
Shout out to my boy Tyler. That's my good friend. We're just running some friendly ones, and I'm being nerdy about it. So that rock spawn's actually like that last one that you see where I like literally one frame him pretty much. Like he spawns into my reticle. That one's like a really nice spot, but I have to figure out exactly how it works. I remember it from back in the day, but it worked on the very last try that I did it. As you can see, I checked for it every time, but
yeah.
But I think you have to be like really far back on the street wall, like I am there, so you can not influence that spawn. I also think it affects. It's important where they die. If they die in the rocks, they're not going to get that rock spawn again. So I don't know. There's some details. I have to figure it out. But I had been trying like all night to get that, and I finally got it on a nice little spree. So I had to make a nice Twitter clip out of it.
What do you guys think?
I'd love to act like I could do that all the time, but I can't.
Yeah. When you finally got it, I was like, damn. All right. I see.
Yeah. I looked for it every time.
Yeah, but you said you were like trying to figure out spawns. You guys still in that process? Like, what do you think about them so far? I feel like they're kind of weird at times. Like, it's hard to figure out what exactly is influencing what. At certain points, like in Zealot and stuff, like people will spawn right in the basement below me when I'm on top of them, and it's like it's all over the place. Sometimes it feels like.
Nexus as well as some wonky spawns. As far as like, criticizing teammates too heavily, I try not to purely because in this game I'm kind of clueless myself. Like if I'm completely honest, there's a lot of times where I'm running around and I'm like, I don't really know what's the best play here because I'm learning this game right now. So I try to be patient because I'm making a lot of bad plays too. I know it. I'm learning it though. I feel like every day I'm playing it, I'm picking up more and more of the spawns and then just being more prepared for it whenever they come up.
Yeah, definitely.
Slowly but surely.
So we have another clip from you, an outplayed clip here, and I like how you managed to mix the crouch into the strafe. Let's take a look at this as well.
I got him on their flag. Look at the rocks. Or you're blocking it. Maybe stay in their car. Yeah, you are. Yeah, they spawned their hut.
Run into you, Dal.
Under me?
No, I said running it to you.
Oh. Said right under me.
Flag taken. Flag dropped.
Ring 2.
So you're completely one shot. You back down and you managed to outplay this guy. Like just, oh my god.
Yeah, that was actually last night. It was like last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crouch, I think, is a lot of people are talking about like controllers have a big advantage in that regard, and that one. This is the one thing that I feel like. I mean, the aim assist is the whole other conversation, but this one, like, I can totally understand the merit of this because the crouch strafe is super, super good in this game. That close range verticality, especially like that, in your face, like it's just a really devastating thing. It's really hard to shoot at. And if you can control it, I feel like it's one of the better options. Jumping in this game, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can't shoot as well. I feel like I have shot reg problems when I'm in the air, and I don't know if I'm shooting completely wrong or if all I know is if when I stay on the ground, I get a lot more kills. So I've been just crouch strafing a lot more, and it's just been a lot easier for me. And yeah, I've just been putting a lot of practice into it.
Yeah, and does it feel like the hitbox is even smaller than usual when you're in crouch? Than like other Halo games, maybe? It seems like you really shave off a lot of height.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. It's this game, there's so, like, the verticality is not so much of a thing. So I think people are just really thrown off by it more so because when you, slight adjustments that are required to hit those, just really mess with people. I think a lot of people try to keep it the proper height and just move the horizontal and not worry too much about the vertical, but it can mess with people, I think, especially up close.
Have you been mixing in some crouches in your strafes as well, Aldo?
Yeah, I've always used crouch strafe, even in Reach on Xbox 360. Not so much Halo 3, just because it's more difficult to do, I think, in Halo 3. And it's like it's like less of a reason to, I feel like. But
yeah,
in Reach, it definitely played a big part, and I was a huge fan of the crouch strafe, and like back in like 2010. But yeah, I'm still trying to get back to the groove I had with it. I don't know where and when I should be using it. I'm kind of still figuring that out, but definitely using it.
It's very different for sure, especially because you can't input it while you're moving in a certain direction, right? You can't just like input the crouch during movement, but I find that you could do it out of the air, which is kind of useful. I don't know if you guys try entering battles, like you do an early jump to get into the battle and then land and crouch and start the fight like that.
Leave it to you, Alex, to be doing that too. I thought I was doing it. Dude, it's so good. Yeah, if you drop off of a ledge or something.
You can be holding a direction, but you can still land and crouch.
You can land real low to the ground. Yeah. Stuff.
It's nice.
I agree. I'm a big crouch strafe. I always have been. I feel like it's I don't know. I don't know why it seems cool to me, and I've always felt like it's cool. I know people hate it and always complain that like the crouch strafe is still sweaty and lame or whatever. But like that clip that you just showed, like when I did that, I just like popped off. I was super excited. It just feels good to me. I don't know. I really like the control you have. And when you're airborne, you put yourself on a set path. Your jump has that trajectory, and you feel it's all right stick aiming, and you feel like you have a lot less control. But I really like when you stay on the ground and you're crouching, you have so much more control and options, I feel like.
I remember back in the day, like when they added the crouch, like I feel like Reach was the first Halo game where crouch strafing became like a thing, really. Like where people would just crouch the entire fight, and that was like a strategy for some people back in the day with Reach. But nowadays, it's all over the place. Of course, I have a couple other topics here. So I wanted to touch on a bunch of different things in Halo Reach and get your insights, what you guys think about stuff so far. The first one I have is very controversial here. It's the mouse and keyboard versus controller kind of debate here. What do you guys think about the mouse and keyboard versus controller, like kind of pros and cons of each? I'm sure you've been jumping back and forth between each. What do you think so far? Lalo, we can start with you.
Sure. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the sentiment that, the the auto aim on the controller is pretty strong.
Yeah.
There again, I haven't played a whole lot of Reach on console, so I can't tell the difference there too much from console versus PC. I'm sure if if it gets changed, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about adjusting to whatever it gets changed to. I would just like it to be at a point to where everyone's happy with it.
Right. Have you been trying it on PC, like trying to hit individual shots?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried playing with the mouse too much. I'm just trying to stick with controller for now, until I make a decision later on.
Cole, I know you've been jumping back and forth. How does it feel for you trying to use mouse and keyboard?
I don't grind mouse and keyboard at all, and also my desk is not set up for it, so it's awkward, but I really like it, and it's fun. I actually made a video where I swapped in between the two every life, and I did pretty solid. In my opinion, the controller experience on PC feels like console. Other people don't feel that way, and that's okay. Like, a lot of pros that do use controller are saying, like, it does need to be tuned down. I'm fine with that if that's what they want to do.
Right.
Like Lalo said, I'd prefer everybody be happy. But I think there's pros and cons for both. Controllers, obviously, we have a set speed we can turn. That's pretty slow. That includes verticality, looking up and down. That speed ramping that's so controllable on a mouse is just so valuable. If you're efficient with it, it's definitely the better way to aim. And I think no scoping is absurdly easy on the mouse keyboard. Yeah. That one, through my own experience, I find it pretty simple. But ultimately, I feel like both have their strengths. And I don't know, Halo's just the controller game, and a lot of people that have been playing it for a long time are controller players, and that's why they're doing better. It's not just the shot. I mean, you guys know, but like, there's so much more to Halo than just the shot, and that's the thing that annoys me the most, is that that's being emphasized so much, and it really is probably not that big of a factor overall, I think. But time will tell. If they want to tweak it, I think that's fine. I think the controller players will still probably be doing better, and I think that'll show itself over time. Just because we've been playing the game longer, it only makes sense. It's not to say anybody's bad. It's just that, I mean, I know the game. I've been playing it. I played it back in the day, and I've been playing it last week. I know Halo. I've been on Halo for a decade, and I'm not gonna get off it. So, I don't know. It's a little annoying to me that I feel like people assume that they should be doing better than they really are. It's like, how can you expect yourself? It's like I'm saying, like, I'm not even that good at this game right now. Like, I'm learning it still. Like, I wish everybody could be a little bit more patient with themselves. Just like, it's a new game. We all need to learn it. Nobody's gonna be amazing right off the rip. I don't know. I have a lot of complicated thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think what really kind of like has been sparking the debate is just the thoughts from PC players themselves, right? Like somebody like Summit, for example, has been talking about it quite a lot. Summit's very talented on mouse and keyboard, but when it comes to him trying to hit these shots consistently against a controller player, he has some trouble. We got a quick clip here, and you can hear from himself. See what he says.
Bro, it is just like, I'm just going to say it. Like, I cannot win 1v1s. The controller, you guys shoot faster and more accurately than me. I can't keep up with that.
Controller.
It's like by the time I'm hitting my fourth shot, they're like attempting fifth shot, and I started the fight shooting and haven't missed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're on our wall. Our wall, one shot. Oh my god, bro. It's like not even hard for them. It's not even hard, and it's like I have to hit beautiful shots.
It's that main thing is the tracking, right? That's what makes it so tough. Is like Halo, you've got shields, right? So you take more shots than most FPS games, so you're forced to track each individual shot in that fight for longer than you typically have to. So for mouse and keyboard, it's like you really got to work for each one of those shots, is what it feels like. But Cole, you made a good point when you said like it's not just about the aim, it's also like your movement is a big part of that too. Like maybe if you're using your strafe correctly to help line up those shots, you don't have to go for really difficult flicks all the time. Not sure what it is, but yeah, it's been interesting so far.
There's also positioning and other things too. And like even then at the ring challenge that Summit just did, like I miss shots like that, like ring wall to ring wall. Like in a normal 1v1, like plenty of players that grind all the time. Like I think that's something that people are. It's like confirmation bias in my head. I feel like there's a lot of games where I feel like I'm not playing well. I miss a couple big challenges. I'm like, man, I'm just not shooting well. Then by the end of it, my stats were fine. I played really well. Just a couple gunfights stick out to me that I just choked. And it's like, if the controller aimed for me as much as everybody acts like it does, that would never happen to me. But it does all the time. I lose big gunfights all the time. It happens. People miss. People strafe. It's the game. It's the game. I think people have this like idea that they're gonna win or they should be able to win every fight, and you just can't. It's not gonna happen. Even the best players, like it's just not gonna happen. You have to work on your consistency and try to be as consistent as you can, but you're not going to be able to hit every shot. You just can't.
Right, right. We had a good example we can throw up in the background from Hysteria actually, where he's using the controller here to showcase the aim assist. So he actually kind of like throws it left and right. You can see it kind of grabbing onto the player. Lalo, do you think like if we were to turn it down a bit, then it would still be competitive? You can see it right here, like how aggressive it is.
Sorry, what was the question?
If they were, do you think that like if they were to turn down the aim assist, that it would still be like competitive? That would be maybe something.
Yeah,
to
like I
consider?
said, there will still be people who are more comfortable on a controller and who would probably want to at least try to get used to whatever the new feeling of it is. I would be one of those people.
Yeah. On 10 cents, that'd be brutal though. With very low.
I have messed around with like betraying my teammates on sensitivity. Usually they're my friends, so it's not a big deal.
No aim
but
assist.
yeah, I mean I can hit my shots there sometimes, so I feel like with more practice, I would like to at least see what my thumbs can do before I just abandon all that experience on a controller.
Right, right. So in the meantime, there are a couple other things we have going on with Reach. Of course, some controversial stuff, especially on the maps as well. Cole, you had this tweet that you put up. Hopefully we can grab it.
Oh man, I know which tweet you're talking about.
The tweet, exactly. So there it is. Hopefully we can throw it up on screen, or I don't see it just yet. But it basically showcases what you think of the game so far, like where you think the issues are. And we can talk about a little of those.
Oh, okay, not that tweet, different tweet. Cool. Yeah.
Wait,
yes, this
one,
tweet.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you thought it was something else? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well, I had a tweet about penance, so I thought it was about.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that too.
Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll talk about
that. Okay, so three main gripes. Flinch. I didn't even think about flinch, first of all. And then you said nades or dukes and maps are kind of let's talk about the first two.
Okay, so flinch. So like I'm talking about with your shots, not everything. A big part of Halo is like reticle placement and knowing how to position your shot. So regardless on mouse and keyboard or a controller, there's a lot of scenarios where you actually don't need to touch your reticle at all. You have your shot lined up on the enemy or lined up to where they are at their cover, where they're going to peek. And you don't need to be moving your reticle. If you're swinging your stick around or moving your mouse, you're just making it harder than you need to. You can just keep it perfectly still. They're going to walk right into it. In a lot of instances like that, that's something I emphasize in my own gameplay to try to improve consistency. Like, I don't need to be adjusting here. It's already on them. Like, let me just, keep shooting.
Right.
And when I get hit by a sniper and my reticle kicks halfway across the screen because I got flinched, now I'm like swinging my reticle back. Like, does that make sense? If somebody's walking straight or standing still with a sniper trying to line up a no scope, and I'm just putting my reticle directly on them, and I'm just like trying to, crouch or whatever I'm doing. And then like next thing I know, I'm looking way over here to the right because they bodied me. It's like, okay, well, you bodied me, so I either got descoped and I'm one shot, or I'm just one shot. Either way, you have advantage now. You have the power weapon. I should not be punished for getting shot by the power weapon. Now I have to readjust my aim, and in a lot of instances, it costs you the kill. Yeah. And it's not a mechanic that's present in other Halos, except for Halo 4, which I don't think flinch was popular in that one either. I just feel like flinch is one of those RNG mechanics that we just don't need. But that was in the game back then, and that's in the game now, and that's what it is. And that's okay, but it is frustrating to play with, I feel like.
Yeah. So flinch in this instance being the moment you get shot, your gun gets like thrown backwards, basically. Yeah. And it's actually in Halo 3 as well, but it's very, very subtle in Halo 3. It doesn't really throw off your shot, but in Reach, it's like it's
literally. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's how subtle it is, right?
There's a YouTube video comparing them, actually. It's like Halo 3, Reach, and 4, and 4 has the largest one, but you don't lose your scope. So you're still in the scope.
Yeah, no descope in 4. It's really weird.
Descope. Have you noticed that as well, Lalo, with the sniping? Like, is it annoying at times, the flinch?
The flinch is, like you said, it's a lot more than what it was in Halo 3s, and I played a lot of Halo 3 snipers this whole year, and so I have been playing a decent amount of snipes and Reach as well, so it is noticeable. It is something I'm trying to, get used to in my playstyle. So I'm still working around that.
Yeah. What about the nades? Do you agree that they're nukes?
I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty strong, but that's
pretty strong.
I mean, it's a different game. It's not. Anytime with something like that, I start to get frustrated with it. I just remember like this is not Halo 3, and so
it's an adjustment. You just have to get ready.
Yeah, you just literally have to.
Radiuses. Somebody explained it to me, and this might be a theory, but with the armor abilities like sprint mainly being present in the game, that the blast radiuses on the rockets and the grenades were bigger to compensate for that. But when you play the no bloom, no sprint settings, no sprint. So now they're just easy, and it's just what it is. and that makes sense to me. I don't know if that's exactly how it really happened, but if that is, like, I get that, and it's like it's not necessarily bad. It's just different. It's just something to get used to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
The Rockets,
it's frustrating
yeah.
getting beat a lot, you know.
Yeah, the Rockets are ridiculous. They're so
Yeah.
strong. Yeah,
They're good, and they go through walls. They're super good. The Reach Rockets are probably the best Rockets in the series, honestly. Like,
yeah, I think so.
I'm not good with Rockets, but like, I have no problem with the Reach Rockets. Like,
Right.
I can get all sorts of kills with them.
I don't know if you guys notice this with the nades as well, but they feel heavier or something. They're different in like the way they interact with walls. They get stuck on more stuff as well. Like
And
I'll
they
throw
don't-
it, it'll get stuck under a weapon on the floor. Like
Yeah,
it'll
they don't
it'll
bounce
catch
much
things.
either.
They don't, yeah, they're like
they kind
heavy.
of stick to the floor. Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah.
They're tough. They're strange. They're different for sure. It's something to
Definitely
learn.
Yeah. So yeah, those issues, and then you said the maps were So the main maps I think you're talking about is Penance, and then I know there's some controversy on Beaver Creek as well. But let's talk a bit about Penance. We got some Penance gameplay from Stress that we can throw up in the background here as well. He's been playing the map. What do you guys think of this map? Should it be taken out immediately? Can it be saved? Let's talk. Lalo, what do you think?
As far as pulling anything out or replacing anything, I'm not sure yet. Like I don't have enough time in this playlist to really give an accurate opinion on the matter. I have played this game type quite a bit in this playlist, and in my experience, it has shown up more than I would like to see it. But there have been some games where it's been pretty close, or I've had some fun moments on that map. So that's not to say that I don't have fun on it, because I do at some points. Maybe it's just like the amount of times I'm on the map is the issue. But you know, I'm all for variety where it makes sense, and you know, if we can get this map to be in a place where it is fun for more people, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I agree that the map can definitely be fun. Like it's a really cool map too. I think the issue is more in the 4v4 situation when you're facing like a full team, especially if you're like solo queuing. Cole, have you had issues with this? Like as far as it's the team setup on the map that's tough, right?
It's really, I don't think that's exclusive to solo queuing. My biggest gripe about this map is kind of my same criticism of Lockout in Halo 2. This is controversial because that's a fan favorite, long time. People love that map. But for me, there's only one way you'll see people playing this map, and that's holding the side that Jeremy and his friends are holding right now. There's one general setup that everybody runs, and that's just, it's so boring, and with the frequency that it comes up, it's so not engaging, and it's, I know why I feel like a lot of people like it a little bit. Just it is easier to understand when there's one general setup to run on a map. It's more like digestible for a lot of people to kind of understand how to play it properly with a team. But I feel like when you get used to like playing really fast-paced games with like, like arena style maps like Zealot Flag, and like how to make decisions on the fly and things, and playing something really slow and structured like this, I just find it really boring. I don't find the gameplay interesting, and it's really frustrating trying to break a setup repeatedly for 12 minutes when it's so easy to hold the setup,
Yeah.
So that's my criticism. The map itself, I think, works fine. I think there's a pretty consistent way to win. There's a very like obvious right and wrong way to play it. And I feel like I do pretty well on it. I just overall don't find it that much fun to play.
What do you think would improve it? Do you guys have any ideas on something that would like make it more balanced?
I mean, if I had to try to make it better, like me, I would probably move weapons around or something like that. Like maybe if snipe didn't spawn in that area so that you could camp that area so easily. I don't know. That's just spitballing, but
I think, or there needs to be another teleporter that allow you to get behind them. That's the only. There's just no way. The lifts are so loud. The only way to quietly get up there is to walk through the tunnel, and that's always being watched. So, trying to move heaven like where Jeremy is, like that's tough because to hit the lift, you're gonna be loud, and they're gonna notify even if you have camo. I feel like a teleporter is the only way. A silent move.
There is that jetpack on the map. And I tend to pick that up as often as I can. I'm a real big fan of the jetpack in this game.
Yes.
So I have been able to like break setups on that map by jetpacking just where they're not expecting me to, and that's worked quite a bit. But then you could also not do that if they already have the jetpack. So
the jetpack's just another thing to control for sure.
Yeah. So I have kind of like a weird theory on it, but what if on this map everybody just had jetpacks?
That honestly would probably make it better, I think. Seriously, because
honestly, I don't know.
The reason why the setups are so easy is because there's so few options for the enemy team. You can quickly block off all their options, and then they have to come through one of the ways you're watching, and then it's easy shots for you. But if the jetpack were in there, people could kind of show up wherever they wanted. It'd be loud
Yeah.
and there'd be a lot of jetpack sound effects, but
There would be, yeah.
people could get around. It'd be different. I think that would actually maybe, yeah, make it better.
Like, I know people are hesitant about, abilities and stuff sometimes, but I find the jetpack to be really fun on this map. And I know, like, if you're the only guy jetpacking, maybe that makes it more fun too, because you have more freedom. But like, something about jetpacking on this map is sick. It's just like the way that it's multi-layered and vertical, and then the setup kind of like you can get in it from different directions. Like that room that Stress was just in, you could jetpack straight up and then stand on the tubing there, and then you challenge from this completely unique angle. And that makes it so much cooler. So I was thinking, yeah, like screw it, just give everybody jetpacks off the start, and see how that plays out. That might be like a fun, different way to experience the map. I don't know. I'm just maybe as an H5 kid, I'm throwing out.
No, I like the jetpack a lot, and I think what it does better than Halo 5 in this game is that it truly is a movement option. It doesn't help you in fights. Like jetpacking during a fight will just it's not good.
If
It doesn't
anything,
help you
it
get out
slows
of.
you down, right?
It slows
Like,
you
it
way
makes
down.
you
Yeah,
more
it's
easier target.
You're a super easy target.
Sure.
So it truly is like to just get around the map, and like on countdown, it's great. If you can get it, you can then go up to the radios with ease. Helps you get elevated on the map without taking the base like predictable options. And
There's even a way on countdown to flag juggle with it. I haven't
yeah,
seen
if you're
do
really
it
good,
lately,
you can do it like
but
off the rocket in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to try it. I haven't tried it yet.
I haven't either. People used to do that, but I think it's cool because of that. I think it works because it's loud, it's very obvious, and then it's just a movement thing. It can like help you get to vertical areas on the map quicker, and I think that's cool. It's also a pickup, so like that's obviously important. Like if everybody had them, it'd be different, but it's a pickup. So
Yeah, it's not just like brainless to use as well. Like you said, like it's kind of cumbersome to fly. Like if at any point you bump your head on something, that you get like you're stuck at that level.
You don't
can't
have a lot
go
of
any
control
higher.
either.
Yeah,
It's
like
floaty
once
and
you
weird
bump
feeling.
yourself, you're like screwed in your altitude. Yeah.
There's not much room for error if you're not a good pilot per se.
Especially on a map like this too. You can easily try to land, and then kind of your momentum will carry a little bit upon landing, and you can slide off things with a jetpack. It's not a super controllable thing. I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think that would definitely mix things up and be kind of cool. Also, because I love the look of the map. Like that's the one thing about this map is like it's a remake of a Halo 1 map. All the remade Halo 1 maps are so beautiful to look at graphically. Like going from a Forge map that's kind of like average looking to this is just like night and day in terms of visuals, like what I get to experience. So it's like you don't want to lose the map just because it looks so sick too. How do you preserve that? You know what I mean? And the same kind of thing goes with Beaver Creek. So people are having some issues with this as well. What do you guys think of this map as well? We've got some gameplay from another streamer here that we can throw up in the background.
Personally, I like this map more than Penance. I don't know that this is one of my favorite maps, but I do have a good time on it, mainly because there's 2 snipers on the map, and I like to snipe, so I will find enjoyment on this map one way or another. Proximity actually did have, I don't know why I called you Proximity, Cole. Cole had actually
I'm trying not to.
Point. Yeah, Cole had a really good point about if you're not doing well on that map, you want to stop moving and like just hold a position. And the first couple times that I was playing this map, I was literally just running around just to like kill people and have fun. But then actually just listen to his point and just hold the top base or like sit somewhere and not camp, but just make sure you know where you are. And that goes a long way on this map for sure.
Well, in Hill, King of the Hill, this map is great, I think, because players are forced to move to a certain location and control the crucial areas in the map. It's Slayer that's kind of weird. Cole, any like gripes or thoughts on this map?
I actually prefer Slayer on it, and I think that's because
because then you just like camp the teleporters and stuff is what people are saying.
Yeah,
like,
but I've played Slayer on this like 20 times, I think, and I've played Hill on it maybe 4. So I'm just better at it. I've played it more, so I understand it more. If I have a gripe, I wish some playlists were. I mean, I know we're talking about weighing maps and things, but I just wish some things were more frequent because I feel like I can learn them if I get to play them more. But with the infrequency in matchmaking, when they do finally show up, I'm clueless, and I hate playing like that. I don't like playing when I don't know what's going on because it's just scary. You're panicked. You're looking at everything like maybe they're gonna be there. And it's nice to feel like sure that they're not behind you, and that's good. But yeah, like Lalo said, I feel like in this map, slowing down goes a long way. I've been trying to play like more elevated and just play off like my teammates' callouts, or if anybody is calling out, if not, just making sure you cover all your bases. And the port is so important. If you're just if you're constantly paranoid about the port, it becomes less of an issue really quick. I feel like, in my experience, because like when you start really like, okay, I'm tired of getting ported on, and you just start like panicking, looking at it, nading it, like I don't know, it gets easier. But overall, like this map's not. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's all right. It looks really pretty. I think we can agree on that. But
Yes.
yeah, it's okay. I'm not super confident on the hill version yet, and it's a little frustrating. But I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's not a good game type just because I'm not good at it.
Mhm.
A lot of people like it. I feel like it's gotten better as I've played it more, and I think it might kind of just be what needs to happen. Maybe just we all need to play it more and feel more comfortable on it.
That's a good point. And I think what you need, by the way, is a veto system. That's what we need. So you can play the maps you want to play.
I heard a theory that somebody said that, and I don't know about this, but this would make sense to me. Somebody said that they waited the non-Forge maps off launch to make so when people had attention on Halo, they weren't all looking at gray maps repeatedly and being like, "What is this ugly game?" That makes sense to me. I don't know if that's true, but like in my head is like, okay, I get that. They want to show that like Halo is not this gray slate, everything's gray. Because like the best maps in this game are like Forge World maps. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
That was kind of just Breach was like a Forge World show, but I don't know. Yeah, it's getting better the more and more I play it for sure.
Is there some way to take existing maps and use Forge to like limit certain areas and somehow make it competitively viable? Like what's that Halo 2 map?
That's Zealot right now.
Or
the
Zealot,
original Zealot in this game has like the whole space area above it. And
right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So they've blocked a lot of stuff off with the Forge stuff in this game.
Yeah. What about that Halo 2 map? And I can't remember it's called like Reflection, I think, in Reach.
Yeah.
Can that
Ivory Tower
somehow? Yeah, Ivory Tower
was used the first
it was
season.
like MLGV3 or something. Really, the early seasons.
Yeah, I don't remember why like it didn't stay. I didn't play too much of it.
Yeah.
I assume probably for the same reasons of like penance, but or I don't know.
Just boring, symmetrical Slayer setup, kind of give people a bad spawn at the bottom of the map and wait for them.
Yeah,
things like that. But then maybe with some Forge adjustments, maybe with that elevator being a lift or something, it could be done. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's something we'll see in the future. Hopefully, of course, as we get to the future, we've got content coming up as well. Yeah, I know you guys have been creating content, or Cole, you've been creating content. Lalo, you make amazing montages as well. You haven't made anything just yet, but are you thinking about it? We've got one of your old montages, or actually not so old, a couple months ago, that we can throw up in the background here. And I know you're grinding the 10 cents, but are you looking for clips to put together in a montage?
Yeah, no. This whole year I've actually, I guess the best way to explain it is I've been harvesting clips this entire year, and there I have several videos in progress that I've started to try to put a quick video out, something similar to the one you're watching here.
These are good players you're killing, by the way.
Yeah, these are hardcore clips on people who are playing hardcore, but yeah, I've tried to make several snipers videos for myself with all my snipers clips, but I don't have too much free time to do that for myself, and when I do, I'm already burnt out from doing that at work. So I just the motivation hasn't been there to finish anything, but I am going to do something soon, hopefully before the new year. I don't know how likely that is though, because I'm going to be going on vacation, but probably after the new year at some point, I'm gonna do like some best of 2019 with like my absolute favorite clips, something short. But excited for it.
Right, that would be awesome to see. Cole, I know that you've been uploading a couple things as well. You had recently you had switching between keyboard and mouse and controller, which is honestly so fun to do. Just picking up controller and then next life using mouse and keyboard. So like, do you have any like cool kind of content plans and stuff coming up? Do you feel like kind of reinvigorated having Reach to play with? Like, does it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many things to make content on, and actually, I feel like I'm like still in a little bit of a drought. I'm slow to be making content the way I want because I just feel like I can't even decide what I want to make. There's so many options, and then ultimately, like I'm like, yo, should I do this or this? And I'm like, yo, I just want to play, and then I just like game, and I'm procrastinating a little on that. But I have a lot of plans for content. I have a lot of I feel really invigorated. And also, real quick, I just have to say, Lalo, you're so good at editing, dude. That video is so cool, man. Your highlights
and the music was sick
so
too.
Nice.
But we don't have it playing there. Yeah.
But yes, I have a lot of plans. I'm just gonna try to. I don't know yet. I still am like trying to figure out exactly what I like really want to be focusing on throughout the next year. But I feel like there's a lot of options, and no matter what, I'm just gonna try to make a lot of content. I want to make some campaign stuff, probably some infection stuff. I want to make some like goofier things that are more fun, and also keep sweating and playing competitive like I like to do, and making videos out of that. So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, there's a lot of options, and we have a lot to do now. So that's really fun.
Yeah, That's a good point about like even just listening to you saying like I want to make this, I want to make this, you know what I mean? Like just having so many things you want to do, and then it's like overwhelming, and then you just don't end up doing it, 'cause you end up playing the game.
Right, because
Like,
for
you just
Halo
wanna play the
5,
game,
after
yeah.
4 years of making content, it was like, I'll wait till I have a really good gameplay, and then I'll upload that. Like that's pretty much what I had to do. Because like average, like even above average gameplays to me were like so boring at that point. It's like I needed to do something really cool in a game for it to be upload worthy. And at this point, I don't feel like that with Reach. You know, it's kind of like, oh, I can just put whatever up because it's new and we're all having fun and we're all just gaming and like I don't have to worry about like feeling like I need to be really good at the game because I'm just learning it right now and I like that. Take some pressure off myself. I can just enjoy it. I'm having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like, you know, all these like tips and tricks videos that we had 10 years ago, does it make sense to do tips and tricks again now? You know, even though we've kind of had that back in the past, like if I go look up map callouts, I'll find videos from 10 years ago and they still stand today. They're just bad quality. You know what I mean?
I absolutely think that people should be doing that again. Like even if it's not necessarily regurgitating what has been said 10 years ago, but you know, taking those tips and adding your spin or making content with maybe it is the same callouts that, you know, someone made a video on several years ago. No one's watching that video from 8 years ago. Make it again in 4K.
Right.
So what? Put it on Twitter.
Make it less of an eyesore.
Like there are so many new players in this game right now that are going to appreciate that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything like lacking in the Halo content space right now? Like a good opportunity for someone who wants to make content, like something that we maybe need to see more of?
I mean, that would be a good start. Like going back and doing
and recreating the old
content
stuff
again. Like, hey, like these are the best starting strategies for Countdown. These are the best for Sync, taking the jetpack and sniping their snipe like Muggsy did. You know, something like that. Or you know, I don't know. Like I haven't seen anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Reach
yeah. No, it's a good point.
I think it's all information people would like. I think just I don't know what the competitive interest is going to look like whenever we have that tournament announced that Tashi's talking about.
Right.
But I think a lot of content is just missed in Halo in general. I'm one of the few people that regularly uploads competitive content, and I'm not even a pro player. You know, like that to me is just like silly. It always has been. I wish more and more people, just top players, would just upload good gameplays because one, it's a lot of fun to watch high level Halo, but it's also you can learn, and you can't learn if you're not seeing better players.
Yeah.
You know, put out gameplays. If you see Tox Gaming, you know, Snakebite's been more active recently on YouTube, but
that's what I was gonna say.
Members from Tox like uploading is like really valuable. That's the undisputed best team in the world. They have been the last couple of years.
Right.
Getting to watch them, like get to study their gameplay would be like really valuable, and that's content I think people would want to see.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember early Halo 3. I forget which pro I watched. But I remember watching starting gameplays on like the pit of whichever pro it was, and then seeing him like turn that into like a sniper 10 kill spree or something. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just do that every start.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm about to get on. I'm gonna play just like that. Like, just watch
for sure.
do it.
Yeah, just, you know, he's doing something right. Just let me copy what he's doing before I start, you know, doing what I want to do.
And I just think content in general, more people streaming it, more people making YouTube videos. It's just we need content. Content will be consumed if it's made, but if it's not made, I mean, interest could be lost. Yeah, you just need like those Twitter clips pop up and somebody sees that out DMR that I put out and they're like, wow, I want to get on and play now. And that keeps people coming back. And it's not because it was me, it's just because it's the gameplay and people are seeing the gameplay and it's like it stays in their mind. Really big play they see, they want to get on and play. I feel like we've all had that infectious, like, I saw this really hype clip and now I want to get on it. It's like I want to hit a nice exterm and I'm gonna all night until I get a good clip. I'm gonna like play snipers all day until I get like kill trials, you know.
I see all these clips while I'm at work. Everyone's playing, having fun. I'm like, man, I just want to get on.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody's grinding, hitting amazing stuff. Are you guys worried about, because you said something about like if content's not made, then you know people just kind of walk away, they stop playing or whatever. Like if I go on Twitch right now and I go to MCC, 4.3K viewers, like it's more than we usually have, but this is low in comparison to what we had last week. Let's say, are you guys worried at all about kind of like the longevity of this? Do you care much, or what do you think of just kind of how it's whether or not it'll last?
I kind of we're just seeing what's going on at the moment. I wouldn't say that I'm worried or anything like that. Kind of still too early to tell, at least for me.
Yeah.
But I would probably be more interested to see how you guys feel about that. Cool.
I feel pretty good about it. I think it's encouraging to see it may be only 4 point whatever it is right now, but that's a significant growth from what we had before this drop. To me, that is an incredibly encouraging sign, but also it's important to remember those big viewer spikes come from a big streamer playing the game.
Just like, one person.
Right, 15,000 viewers might come from one. That doesn't mean the game right now. It's like that one person's adding interest, but there's a lot of people playing. It's very active. People are enjoying it. People are trying in matchmaking. Like that's fun to see that people just want to win, even if for no reason. Even if they're only going to play this game for 3 weeks, they just want to win. They're having fun with it. I don't think it's discouraging. I think with Infinite, that's really where we might see, more like longevity with some big growth. This game, I think, is kind of introduce people like, hey, Halo on PC is fun. Yeah, you probably don't like Reach that much. That's okay. Came out 10 years ago, but you like Halo on PC. That's what you could take away from it. And that might Reach might not be the biggest game ever. Like Reach wasn't the biggest game ever back then. That's fine. But it could just get people like warmed up to the idea of playing Halo on PC and playing Halo again, just in more like modern times, a more arena shooter type game.
That's really it. Like that's why I'm not too worried about viewer numbers. It's like, 4.3K is not, huge in comparison to other games, but what matters most to me is people's perceptions of Halo. What do people in general think of Halo these days? And now it seems to be very favorable, which is amazing because they seem to nail the launch. Like the game came out, it's uncapped frames. There's maybe a tiny bit of latency on PC, but nobody's really complaining about it. You know what I mean? Like it was a favorable enough like launch and people are happy enough about it that the general perception of Halo is all of a sudden positive again. I think that's more important than
absolutely.
Just your average kind of viewer number that you have on Reach, right?
Did you happen to see Clayster's tweet, the COD Pro, talking about how much fun he was having with the game?
Right.
Like
people
a
just
COD
having
Pro,
fun again.
top COD Pro, who just won the last World Championship, was like, Halo is so fun. It's like, and he's listing all the reasons why he loves it. And like, that's so great. All those COD guys that, even if they never touch Halo, they might, if you're a big fan of Clayster and you're a big COD fan and he's like, I like it, you'd be like, Halo's kind of cool. Even if I don't like it, it's kind of cool. And like that goes a long way because that warms you up to the idea in the future. If Infinite is like fun and all your friends are playing it, you might be a little more open to like, all right, like let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. It's fun. People like it. Let's try it. But yeah, I think you're right. That perception of Halo being anything but it's dead is going so far for us, and that's amazing.
Yeah. I completely agree. And that's what will really play into Infinite. Like you said, Clayster likes it. Dr. Disrespect was saying good things about it. Summit's like getting his ass beat sometimes, but he's still saying, I still love the game. You know what I mean? He just wants to continue to improve. So that like favorable, just positive outlook on Halo is huge. And then when the next game comes out and it's, big and new again, and people come in with, good feelings, that's going to be amazing rather than, Halo's dead, it's long gone. It's like, no, there was a resurgence. Halo's back. Like I really feel like this is a great way to kick it off, and it's all just about the next, like CE and then 2 and then 3 and then that wave of popularity that we get from each one until we finally get to Infinite. Hopefully things stay positive as things go along, and we could have just an explosion because, like you said, these massive personalities, they have such nostalgia and favorable memories of this game back in the day. It could take a second just for them to come back and
and we didn't even talk about that. This is just Reach, like you're saying.
This is Reach, yeah.
Like I can't even wait to see what's going to happen with like Halo 2. That's the one I'm really looking at because I feel like CE is going to do well, obviously, but there's a lot of passionate Halo 2 fans that have been wanting a really good Halo 2 experience. And I think this might be what they want. It's like Halo 2 is whatever to me. I didn't really grind it as hard as I grinded the others. Everything after that, I like the game, but it's not like I'm not like a diehard Halo 2 fan, but I feel like this is just Reach, and we all know how Reach went the first time. So like people are liking Reach this much. Like wait till they have a game that they're confident they're going to enjoy from the start. It's going to be different. It's going to be good.
Yeah. What I was thinking too is like right now the whole mouse and keyboard versus controller debate is kind of rough. Like mouse and keyboard guys are having some trouble hitting precise shots in the DMR. But what if with Halo 2 you got BRs? Like what if it's totally different? You know what I mean? Like mouse and keyboard is way stronger because you got bigger reticle, you got bullet spread. Could that change the game in some significant way? Or Halo 3 as well. Do you think any of the MCC games would kind of lend themselves to mouse and keyboard a little better? What do you think, Lalo?
I think there's definitely like a different play style when it comes to mouse and keyboard. There again, I don't have a whole lot of experience playing mouse and keyboard FPS, but just going off of what we've seen so far of like how nutty people are with the sniper, just how easy it is to do certain things, how easy it is to check your 6, how to do a full 360. Like you can I mean, I've experienced some of these things on, playing 10 cents on MCC, but nowhere near to the effect of how fast people are with the mouse.
Yeah.
So, take that into account. Like, they're going to be playing the game differently. Like, whereas you're on 2-3 sensitivity, it's really hard to throw certain nades when you're in certain engagements because, if you need to bounce a nade off of this wall, but you're shooting someone here, you're not going to do that on 2, 3, 4 sensitivity. You need that extra sense to be able to look away, nade, and then come back in between their shots. And I would do stuff like that in MCC. But I imagine on Reach with being faster than that, you're going to start seeing some crazy things.
Yeah, of course. I was also thinking, like, considering how hard it is to track on Reach on mouse and keyboard, imagine if Halo 5 was on mouse. Like, would that just, I mean, I know they have their custom games version or whatever on PC already, but if it was like this, like part of MCC, Halo 5 competitive on mouse, it's way faster. You're thrusting, sprinting, sliding around. Would that be even worse? And then what does that mean for kind of Halo Infinite's future? Do you think that they would have to pull it back to kind of balance things out so that mouse and keyboard can track better? Or what do you guys think about that? Because Halo 5 might be messy if they were to move it over.
There again, I don't feel like I'll let you take this one because I don't have too much experience.
Well, like the first question was like, which one would be the best on mouse and keyboard? Like I can't really say. I feel like Halo 3, just because Halo 3 to me is like playing it on 10 cents feels good, even if you're not a 10 cents player. It doesn't feel like it's impossible. Certain other 10 cents games just don't quite feel right, I feel like. But that, like with Halo 5, I personally, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm like a sweaty Halo 5 kid, competed in the game a lot and everything, but I personally believe that up close fights in Halo 5 are some of the hardest in the franchise. The Magnum up close with a controller, aim assist and all, super difficult with the thrust and the crouch, all the verticality, the movement, the variation, super difficult, and it's low aim assist, so pretty tough up close. That on a mouse, I feel like would be impossible against a good controller player. I feel like if I played against a whole bunch of mouse keyboard players in Halo 5, like with my experience on a controller, it would be night and day to how the Reach experience is. And that's because the movement mechanics. The shooting mechanics might be fine, but I think the movement would be so challenging on a keyboard. I mean, and Alex, you're a Halo 5 movement enthusiast yourself. You're one of the other people. Like both of us learned how to manually spring jump very consistently. A lot of dedicated hours there. That would probably be annoyingly easy on a mouse keyboard, but everything else. I
don't know. Have you been trying spring jumping on keyboard? Because
I haven't, but I feel like the input switch on 2 keys might be pretty quick and easy, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
I mean,
I just feel like the movement
gap
on a keyboard would be. If I tried to do my normal maneuvers in Halo 5 with a mouse keyboard, like, oh man, I'd be botted. Like, it'd be so bad. There's no way.
Clambering and then dropping back and clambering again and like holding crouch in between and like then doing like a spring thrust. Like, I just think it'd be so much for my left hand to handle. Like, I'm sure it's possible. I don't know how I would train.
I feel like I'm in that boat, Alex. Like like feeling like that's just too much for my left hand to do.
For your left hand
on a keyboard. That's why when I did play FPS on PC, I was using controller and mouse, but that was because I could not
how'd you do
WA it. I was just using the left of the controller and then using the mouse for my right hand.
You're kidding me. You can do that with an Xbox controller?
With some games you can do that. I was doing that in PUBG and I was doing that in Overwatch.
Dude,
but the reason I did that was because I could not get used to WASD for movement. I literally could not do it. My brain couldn't do it. My hand, something wasn't clicking and I was just getting frustrated. I didn't want to put in the time. So I just went back to using the stick.
Yeah, I don't like that either, to be honest. Like, especially for Halo, because it's so much of my hand is required just to move up, down, left, right, like 3 fingers. And then I got to jump with my thumb, and then I got to use my pinky to crouch, and I got to use it to sprint with the shift or whatever. So, like, crouching is so awkward because it's such a low key. And this comes from a pleb who plays controller. Like, I don't have a lot of experience with mouse and keyboard, so I'm just trying to translate. So I got my keyboard like twisted diagonally like a Counter-Strike player, so I can hit the crouch more conveniently. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you trying to do to my left hand? I'm going to get carpal tunnel in like 10 minutes. So I don't know. It's been weird, as opposed to like on an Xbox controller, I just use a control stick and I hit the left bumper and I'm jumping and I'm moving and I'm doing everything I need to do, crouching as well.
Seamlessly,
Yeah, on top of the fact that it's just the way that it's built. Like, if you're playing Halo Reach and you're strafing, like, you kind of feel skatey in Halo Reach. Like, you throw your body around, your weight kind of gets thrown around, and it makes sense on controller, but on mouse, on keyboard, it's weird. It's like, I think because controller, you have the option to tiptoe, to move, like to not peg the stick if you don't want to. You kind of you mix with it.
You kind of peek a little bit and kind of kind
of swing yourself out there and come back, as opposed to like you press the button, it's like full speed, and you're just throwing your weight around with the keyboard, and it's something about it doesn't translate in the same way. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something to me I feel like is abundantly clear when you switch in between the two, is that the game was originally designed to be played on controller. And in case people don't remember, like Halo was the first console shooter that really worked with like 2 sticks and showed that like a console shooter could be really good in like not clunky and slow, and like the shooting was smooth. Like CE I'm talking. Halo was like, it works with controller, it's built with that in mind, and I think that's like the game runs better. I feel like it plays a lot better, it's smoother. The movement feels cleaner. I feel like the movement is one of the challenging things about PC when I do play the mouse and keyboard version. There's that speed ramping of your movement when it's at 100% input every time you press the key.
Exactly.
It's hard to kind of, I need to jump up this. I was playing Battle Canyon the other day. I was trying to go up the side of the base, and I had to jump off the rock. And I was just trying to strafe the a little bit, and I just overdid it. Really quick on mouse and keyboard, and I just felt like, wow, this is clunky. This feels really like the movement feels wrong to me because it just feels skatey, like you said. You feel like you're kind of gliding around. You don't have a lot of control.
Yeah, the aerial drift is so important sometimes. Like you're talking about Beaver Creek. On one side, you climb up the large rock, like the top mid. But if you're on the other side, you could jump up into like the crevices in the rock and sit up there. You know what I mean? Like there's like a low kind of like on the that's weird on keyboard for me. Like getting up in those small spots and
just any of those that need a little bit more of a precise input. I feel like it's hard to control for sure. But on a stick, it's really seamless for me, anyways. A lot of practice on it.
Yeah, and that's really just, I think, because we're taking an Xbox game and we're transferring it to PC. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Infinite now that they're building it from the ground up with PC in mind. Do you have like a strafe that's snappier? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be maybe quicker back and forth. Kind of the WASD movement feels different and more natural for a PC. Like I wonder how they're going to blend the two and make it feel seamless. It's going to be very interesting. Now, I know we have some questions in the chat, guys. By the way, feel free to start asking your questions. We're going to get some of those questions out there so we can address some of this. We have a first question for Muggsy, actually. We have, are you planning to show the world your half controller and half mouse setup anytime in the future? So there you go. I was curious about this too.
That's what I was just referring to a little bit ago. I don't know about showing it to the world. I already did that. Like there's pictures of me playing that way out there. I don't know when I will bring that back. Maybe sometime soon. We'll have to see.
So it's just an Xbox controller in one hand and a mouse in the other.
Well, it's a Battle Beaver custom Xbox controller. So I have the one button in the back. Well, one on each side, but one when I play that way.
Which is perfect, having a couple extra buttons, right?
Yeah, no. What I'm curious, or what I'd like to do, I don't know how realistic this is, but like work with someone on developing something that is ergonomically better than using half of an Xbox controller.
Sure.
People who want to actually play that way.
Like, put on your
I would totally play that way if that were an option. I think
that's what I'm going to do. I would totally do that.
That would be a lot smoother, I think. And I'm not like uncomfortable on mouse and keyboard. I played a lot of PUBG on mouse and keyboard, whatever that was kind of the wave a couple years ago. Like I got pretty comfortable, at least to the point where I don't feel weird playing a mouse and keyboard. I can like casually walk around and look with ease. It doesn't feel super strange like what I'm learning it, but man, I would totally use a joystick, and hitting the keys above your WASD was so hard for me. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The numbers were so hard for me to learn. But like that eventually I got it down after hours. But like if I had a smoother option to use my left hand, I would have totally done that.
Yeah. I could imagine something like a grip that will allow you to, have buttons for each finger at that point.
That'd be great. And then just your stick.
Sick,
yeah, that'd be so nice.
I completely agree.
Oh, it's a hybrid hero. I already have the name.
Yeah.
Hybrid hero.
Let's go.
Right now,
yeah.
And also because you have those mouse buttons too, so that kind of like circumvents any other issue you might have with just the keyboard. You add a couple, put 4 buttons on your mouse. That's more than enough, I think. Like I got 2 here and I'm fine.
So honestly, like why not? Like PC games always like so customizable because of that, right? Like your equipment, you can make it exactly how you like it, and I'm envious of that. Always have been. I think that's so nice. I think that'd be great. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm want to try that. I wish I had a way to do it now.
I can't believe it's not already a feature, to be honest, because Xbox, and this is kind of low key, so if you guys don't already know this, you should check it out. It's got this awesome feature called Copilot, where you can take two Xbox controllers and map them to the same profile, which is sick if you're playing with, like, let's say, like a girlfriend or something who doesn't game much, and you want to play like Destiny together, and you can do the aiming, and she can like move around, and you can have two separate controllers, or you can play with a little kid, and if they're having trouble, you can kind of nudge them in the right direction with your own controller without taking it out of their hands. But that's also great for somebody who has like a disability. So many other things. It's great. But what if you apply that to keyboard? Copilot a keyboard with a controller. Let me hold my controller and use the mouse. It's the same process, just across the board. Anyway, this is something I'm very passionate about. Clearly,
we're on to something here.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Thank you for the question. I didn't actually see a name there. It just says question for Muggsy, but thank you. Thel says, "What's your favorite armor ability for either?" Cole, let's go with you first.
Okay, so like sprint hardly counts, right?
I mean, it is an armor ability in this game, so.
Now, my favorite in Reach is Evade. I mean, that's the most fun, I think. There's not a lot of playlists where you get to use it, but it's a lot of fun. I think, like, in terms of practicality, like, Jetpack's really cool. We like Jetpack. I always have fun with that. Sprint's like a nice utility. It's nice to be able to get around cover really quick and run away if you need to. But Evade is just the most fun. I mean, if you guys haven't ever used the Evade mechanic in Reach, you basically get two long rolls, and you have a lot of control, and you're super hard to kill. It's really fun. It's like annoying shooting at somebody with Evade, but when you have it, you're like, okay, this is pretty fun. And it basically works as a sprint too. You can use it for like just mobility purposes and like getting around.
Yep.
Fun stuff.
I would have to agree with Cole there, but for different reasons. On Xbox 360, back if I was playing before, I would have to say Evade is definitely my favorite, just for the same reasons. Like, it was so fun to evade forward, backward, and like outsnipe someone. Or one of my favorite hardcore or MLG clips I had was evading backwards and then jumping and ninjaing someone for like a double kill. And that was always really fun to
ninjas
do.
were so sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I loved doing that. But nowadays with the configuration that I play and my button schemes, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the jetpack right now, so I'd have to say jetpack in today's era, just because it's a lot easier for me to use with my control setup. So I can literally fly and never move my right thumbstick or right thumb off the thumbstick. So I'm always aiming, and it feels really comfortable. So now it's the jetpack.
They actually added an amazing feature for that as well. If you're playing bumper jumper, it's the jumper. I can't believe that never existed, but you just press and hold jump, and you jetpack with jump. So even if you don't have extra buttons, you play on bumper jumper, you still get that convenience, which is great.
Yeah, I wish that was a thing in the 360 days.
Oh, in 360, I would use my thumb to press X, and it was brutal.
I got into montaging a lot, and I left bumper jumper so I could use the jetpack.
Wow.
Like I played default. I switched to it so I could jetpack better to get clips.
That's what I refused to do, and that's why
I refused to claw, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I didn't like it.
And now I play claw, so it doesn't really matter. But back in the day, I didn't, so it was different. Yeah. But yeah, I wish that was a thing back then. That's a really great idea, the jumper thing. That's
really
smart.
Great. Yeah. But Lalo, I agree with you. Jetpack is my favorite. Do you guys ever use the projection one ever?
Holograms?
Hologram? I find that so dumb, personally.
It's pretty funny. It's like a lot of people use it so much. Like that's their they will not use anything else but the holograms. And that's confusing to me, but it's pretty fun to troll people with. I feel like it's fun to mess around with sometimes, and you can get some funny stuff to happen with it.
I don't ever play those social modes enough to see or use the camo, but my playstyle in and of itself is usually really aggressive, so camo or not camo, the
hollow, even camo too. Yeah,
camo's not very good in the game.
You can see it, and it gives you like massive radar. Like
that's
all
the radar jammer thing's annoying, just because I like having my radar, and when it's constantly jammed, it's frustrating. But yeah.
I don't know. Some of them are kind of weird. Like, and armor lock, of course, is just goofy.
Armor lock's nowhere near as frustrating as I remember it being. Like, it's so funny nowadays. I'm just like, yo, what are you gonna do? Like when they armor lock, I'm just like,
you just sit there and wait. And
I'll wait. Like,
but if you're close enough, they pop your shields. Like I saw Snipe Down.
But I'm smarter than that.
I knew that. I knew not to get close to it.
I'll wait a couple seconds. You're gonna have to undo it at some point.
I will say about armor lock, I saw a clip or a Twitch highlight of some guy playing BTV and like did the armor lock, and like killed a ghost coming after him. And then did it for another ghost, and he was like laughing so hard, and it made me really want to try that. It looked really fun to do that for people who are in vehicles or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it stops anything. Armor lock is true. It's the truth. You can do some fun stuff with it.
I would use it to troll people like that, like for vehicles.
Exactly. As far as like trolling and like hitting funny clips for like your fail clips and stuff like that, like you can just pop it out like a millisecond before a vehicle hits you and you stop the entire vehicle, it just splits in front of you. That, and then you can throw nades off of you as well. If you get stuck, you armor lock and you shoot the nade off you, and then that leads to maybe you stick somebody else, or and that's a funny clip.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that
you can
mechanic.
pop a plasma off yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. So like little things like that lead to cool clips, but you would never want to see that in like a competitive playlist. But yeah, they're goofy now. It's funny looking at them, 10 years later and having the experience that we do. Remorseless says, question for both. Do you think Reach will continue to be the main competitive Halo game until Infinite? Lalo, what do you think?
I'm not sure what I can say about this, so I will just.
Okay, that's fair. Lalo works at 343.
I think about this a lot. It seems to me like that would be a logical decision to make, just being that like the game is what it is. But I don't know, and that'd be cool. If not, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, I would like to see some tournaments. Hopefully, we get a few at least, because it seems like it'd be really fun to watch. I enjoyed watching the Twitch Rivals event with it, and that was Twitch Rivals, so it wasn't like a proper pro teams playing against each other. But
yeah,
it was fun, and I think. With tweaking to the settings that we have right now, maybe come out with a V8 now that it's 2019. Maybe just really, and I would just probably maybe switch penance with another good Slayer, just because I think it's boring. But if it has to stay, it has to stay. That is what it is. And then maybe I don't know. I actually don't know what I would do, because like it's tough. Like I'm not convinced all the game types are actually bad. I just feel like we need to learn them more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Reach should be the next thing for a year. Maybe. Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah. They got to try out the jetpack meta on Penance before they take it out. Hopefully, I just want to see what it's like with all jetpacks, just for a week, but then people will start raging. But I actually don't know how it could be the main competitive game, because we're in a weird period right now where like Reach is the thing right now, but the moment that Halo CE comes out, that might become the focus and everybody's hitting CE clips or something, or Halo 2. So they could, I assume they'll have at least maybe like one tournament on each one of these games when they come out. I don't know what the size of the tournament will be and how it'll all take place, but it's a weird kind of period. So I don't know. It might not be the main competitive game. It might fluctuate. This might be like we play all the Halos and we have like 3 different Halos at every tournament. Yeah, like I don't know.
I don't know what the release dates are looking like. I don't know if that's public or if it has been. I just don't know about it. But like if it spaces out, like that might be what you're saying. Like, yeah, we have a Reach one, then we have a CE one, and or it's just Reach. Whatever. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's cool. Thel says, do you guys think there will be an H2 event? So there's a follow-up right there. I don't know. I assume you guys don't know either.
No, yeah. I mean, it'd be cool.
I mean, with grassroots, anything's possible, right?
Ooh, there you go. You heard it here from Olive.
The final boss tournament, you can run a Halo 2 tournament.
Yeah, you know what? I think it also depends on the popularity. Like what do people want to see? So Halo 2 drops, and then somebody on Twitter, Ninja's like, "Yo, we need a Halo 2 tournament or something." Everybody's like, "Yes, oh my god!" You know what I mean? Then you just kind of react to the fan feedback, and like Lalo said, with grassroots, anything is possible. Hopefully, we'll see. Remorseless. Any predictions on who the best players will be on Reach? Also, do some of them stand out, by the way? That's me adding that. And then some of the young gods have been grinding the game, he says. Any standouts that you guys see?
Cole probably has a better opinion on that than me, but some people that I've seen just from watching that I have, Lethal has been pretty crazy on mouse. I'm sure you've seen those mouse clips. He's
got a breakdown coming out.
Crazy clips from him. Naded stands out just because anything he's been doing has been ridiculous. As far as like grinders, I don't know. I feel like Cole will know who those grinders are.
I mean, there's not really like standout players in my head right now. There's been some, obviously some really good clips. I feel like it's kind of too early to tell who's repeatedly pumping out like oh, they're making big plays, or in terms of competition. If that's what we're talking about, I feel like you can expect Tox players. All those guys are just insane. They just know what they're doing. Royal 2s, I mean, yeah, they're all great. And I just want to say real quick, Lethal's clip, the mouse and keyboard Lethal clip, proves that a really good player is going to make whatever work. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
mouse keyboard is totally viable, and so is controller. But Lethal ultimately is truly one of the greatest Halo players of all time. Undisputed. TJ has to be one of the best players to ever touch the game, and he's showing that like a good enough Halo player is gonna make whatever work. It really isn't too much about your actual controller or whatever you're using for your inputs.
Right,
Yep.
I agree.
There is a guy on PC though. I think his name's like ACU.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of him. I see
That
him
guy's
hit some
ridiculous.
crazy clips.
That guy
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say.
I'm sure there's gonna be some mouse and keyboard players that pop up pretty soon that are like.
He's a mouse and keyboard player, ACU. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some people that are like really good. Because I mean, I was watching Fear itself play the other night, and he's like, he does really well.
He can do whatever he wants there. Though.
Yeah,
He can probably pick up the controller again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But like a lot of those, you know, like Hysteria is the same way. He had a like really nice no scoping clip I saw. It's like
think that
those
might be
players
the
that
fault,
know
though.
what they're doing, that are
Yeah.
efficient on a mouse and keyboard, are gonna tear it up for sure.
Yeah.
And before long, people that are enjoying the game and are just good at shooting but haven't learned yet, pretty soon after a few more weeks, they're gonna be people that play on mouse and keyboard. I feel like that start to really learn the meta and are just gonna be annoying to play against because they're gonna be really good at sniping and super efficient with their power weapon usage.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, on mouse and keyboard yesterday, I was shooting at somebody in the back with rockets, and I was like, yo, I can kill rockets. Next thing I know, I'm in a horror movie. This dude flips around, like, he turns at the waist. I'm telling you, his feet didn't even move.
Oh,
He
yeah,
shoots
because he can
with
spin
it real
around.
quick.
Dude,
He's got a mouse. He just, like, 180 rockets me and goes right back to what he was doing, like it was nothing. It was,
my
like,
God.
the most, like...
That's scary.
I felt so helpless. I was like, I don't even know. Because, like, what do that, man? Like,
Dude, I
the
swear
control
I got
player
stuck.
never make a play. Like, maybe Lalo with 10 cents, but other than that, like, it's going to be tough.
No, even I'm seeing crazy shit like that too. And like someone I feel like did a 180, stuck me from the grave. Like I didn't even see them
my
do
God.
that, but they did
He
it
knows
because
what
of how
happens a lot,
fast.
too.
Like,
Yeah. They're
crazy.
quick. They're just instantly. It's like a horror movie. It makes me like feel like their head's spinning around on their neck or something.
Yeah, you can instantly tell it's a PC player. Like back in the day, if something like that happened on Xbox Live, I'd be like, oh, that's lag, that's bull or whatever, right? But in mouse and keyboard, it's just I guess he can just spin around now. Like that's what he
Yeah,
can
and
do.
it's hard to get mad at because it's like, I
Can't get
mean,
mad
what
at
am
it,
I?
exactly.
You do about that? There's really nothing I did wrong. It's just he got me. I mean, that's what
And
it
it's
is.
fast.
They're very strong as well. They just flip around and hit them, and it works. But yeah, crazy. Also, the one thing on that lethal clip, by the way, because I was actually doing a breakdown on it, and I've seen it a million times now. But what's so cool is he's taking his Halo fundamentals, like his background in Halo, and he applies it directly to mouse and keyboard, even in the way that he flicks the mouse. So he's going for these like lateral flicks that you would normally go for on controller because it's easier to flick laterally than it is to flick like up and down. He also is using his movement to hit his shots. His strafe is giving him this like amazing positioning to land shots, and you'll see it when it comes up. Hopefully,
That kind of
But,
goes into what I was about not touching your reticle so much. That's
Yeah.
a big factor, especially when you're trying to be very consistent.
Yeah.
If you can dial in on somebody and they're walking, if you start strafing with them, you won't
Exactly.
miss because you're walking at the exact same speed as them. You literally have no more adjustments that are necessary if you start using your left stick or your actual movement to aim more. And that's why I get so frustrated with the controller argument because it's the actual right stick versus using a mouse is not as much of a factor as people are making it out to be.
Mm.
A lot of kills are based off of how you're positioned and how you handle jumping a lot in fights and stuff like that. You stay grounded and use your strafe speed to help you hit those shots. They become a lot easier. And,
Definitely
like,
curious.
that he actually came to mind when I was thinking about that earlier. Like better mouse keyboard players will do that and miss less.
Right.
They'll learn it. It'll just take a little bit longer. I think they have the tendency to flick with their mouse because they're used to playing Counter-Strike and games with faster time to kill. But when that's not a thing and you need to be accurate for longer, they'll figure out ways to do it, just like controller players did. Because if you try to right stick if you stand still and just try to right stick with your controller, it's hard, man. Even with the aim, if you want to act like it's the biggest thing ever, it's not, and it's really hard to aim with just your right stick.
Doggy in the background, by the way.
It really is. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Scratching.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see how it develops as time goes by. Any prediction? Okay, so we just got that. Last question from CLT Pathfinder says, what is the Charlotte Phoenix? Sounds dope.
The WNBA team. It's my favorite WNBA.
You're still taking that, right? Ever since they brought it up.
Yeah.
Broadcast.
You guys missed that in DreamHack Atlanta. Some couple guys I'm friends with, members of this organization, Charlotte Phoenix, stood up in the crowd and were repping it. And Clutch thought it was a WNBA team. Alex actually corrected them. So
I was off the mic, and this is a long period where they were vamping, and I was like trying to nudge Onset and be like, "No, it's a Halo org."
So I just moved to Charlotte a couple months ago, and basically got partnered up with these guys almost straight away. It's an organization that's starting in Charlotte, and they have an interest in Halo. as many as really anything. So that's what Charlotte Phoenix is. And CJ, who asked the question, is one of the owners. So
awesome. Oh,
Charlotte Phoenix, we're repping. I didn't know he was gonna tune in, but I did put on the hoodie because I was like, let's rep for Charlotte Phoenix.
Nice. Great to see. Thank you guys for your questions. That's all the questions. And that's all the questions that I have as well for you guys. Cole and Lalo, thank you guys so much for joining me. As far as, Halo Reach in the near future, what's next for you guys, I guess, in the next couple of weeks? Like any like next big plan or something that you want to work on? Lalo, what's next for you?
Me is really getting used to that 144 hertz monitor, just seeing how that changes the way I play.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I'm really looking forward to it. And then really just getting my footing in Halo Reach, making it feel less comfortable as it can for me. Like trying to get to where kind of how I am in Halo 3 right now. That's what I'm probably gonna just start focusing on with whatever free time I have. But aside from that, like I'm about to go home for Christmas for probably like a week or so. So I probably won't get any time in during then.
Isn't that where you get the most time in during Christmas? You just.
Well, I'm not taking my setup or anything, right?
Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, nice to hear. Cole, how about you?
For me, it's gonna be just continuing to learn the game. I just came from Halo 5, which I had been playing pretty much nonstop for 4 years, and at that point, you know a game pretty well. Like Lalo's saying, like he was grinding Halo 3, so I'm sure it's kind of like he's saying there's a comfortability you reach at a certain point where you're like really confident in yourself in almost any situation that you can make some sort of a play. And I am not there at all. Like I said, there's a couple maps where I'm like, if I'm completely honest, I'm like, I don't know what the right play to make here is, and that's just what it is. I just need to learn, and I just need to play more. So I'm going to be doing that. I have a lot of tip videos in mind that I want to make. I did a lot of tip videos in the past on my channel, and I definitely want to do more. So people have been asking me about that. I think I have some tips to offer, but I want to make sure that I'm confident before I go tell people how to play the game. So I need to learn and just spend some more time. But I'm getting more confident every day I play, and just want to keep on trying to improve and get more and more comfortable with it.
You gotta grab Big Texas again and make him stand in different positions.
I actually had Reclay do that a couple. Reclay. That's what I should just call him, Reclay. Reclay. I Reclay did that for me the other day, but I don't know. I ended up scrapping that because it wasn't going well. But I'm gonna get somebody in there and just have them stand around and get shot by me 1,000 times. It'll be good.
Sounds good, man. Are you low-key playing any Halo 5 at all, or is it completely off the block for a bit? It's just focused on Reach 100%?
Yeah, I kind of, after Atlanta, I was grinding pretty hard for that tournament, and it obviously didn't go as well as I wanted it to, and that's okay. But after that, and knowing the Reach was right around the corner, I kind of was like, I'm not really interested in playing Halo 5 for now. I ended up playing it a couple days before, just because I was like excited. But now, now, Halo Reach definitely has all my attention. I'll probably end up back on Halo 5 before Infinite, I would guess. Either to finish the 152 grind or maybe just to throw it back. But for now, I'm not really interested in it. I'm going to give it a couple months until I hopefully after a few months, I'll be like, man, I really missed that game. And maybe I want to move around on it and play. Because right now I think about it, I'm just like, that's just not what I want to play. I want to play Reach for sure.
Yeah. Well, now's the time to grind, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Looking forward to hopefully playing with you guys online and seeing you online in matchmaking as well. I'll be playing too. But thank you guys once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yep, same.
No problem. All right, that's everything for today's episode of HCS Weekly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember, each episode of HCS Weekly is first streamed live here on twitch.tv, but it then ends up on youtube.com. So youtube.com/UGC events is where you want to go if you want to see the full VOD on YouTube. You can also listen to this on Spotify. You can listen to it on Google Play, on iTunes. So a lot of different locations to engage with HCS Weekly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and feel free to check out our merch as well. All the merch that you see in front of you supports the show. It supports me as well, and I would appreciate that support. So feel free to check that out and help us out. And of course, as usual, we'll be back with HCS Weekly next week, same time, same place. I'll see you there.